Very much, Dom. Walmart's chief spokesman resigning after getting caught lying on his resume. Morgan Brennan has the details. It's a very interesting story, Morgan.
It is an interesting story, certainly one that's up for debate. Walmart's chief spokesman, David Tovar, is leaving Walmart after a background check found that he had not received his bachelor's degree from the University of Delaware. His resume said otherwise. The blunder was discovered because Tovar, who worked for Walmart for 8 years, was up for a promotion. Now, Tovar told CNBC that he spent 4 years at the school. He even walked in the graduation ceremony, but after taking a job in New York, found out he was still a few credits short of graduating, thought it was a misunderstanding, and, quote, never looked back. Walmart said he couldn't advance because of the discrepancy, but Tovar says he is leaving on good terms and that he is now looking into completing that degree. But this is hardly the first time that we have seen a high-profile person misrepresent themselves on a resume. Former Yahoo CEO Scott Thompson was ousted in 2012 after it was discovered that he'd earned 1 instead of 2 college degrees in 2006. Then CEO David Edmondson left Radio Shack because he had neither degree, his resume claimed. And then in 2001, after just 5 days as head coach of Notre Dame's football team, George O'Leary resigned after exaggerating both academic and athletic accomplishments. So, Sue, I think the moral of this story, don't lie on your resume. And if you're not sure about your college degree, call your registrar's office.
Absolutely. Morgan, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's bring in Harvard Business School professor Bill George, chairman of Medtronic and a board member at Goldman Sachs and ExxonMobil. Viewers, you can weigh in. Go to cnbc.com/vote. Tell us what you think. Would you have forced Walmart spokesman out? Yes, he had to go, or no, it wasn't so bad. Good to see you, Bill. Welcome back.
Nice to see you, Sue.
You know, Mr. Tovar basically said, you know, he didn't think he needed the degree. It was a degree in art, and he already had a good-paying job. So he basically said he never looked back. Would you have fired him? What do you think?
Well, Walmart's the most visible company in the United States, one of the most visible in the world, the largest company by revenues. And I think they depend entirely on a person, Tovar's position, to tell the truth, because that's the credibility of the company with the media and hence with the general public, all of whom are their customers.
Right.
So I think he had to step aside. He seems like a high-caliber guy. But the question, Sue, is why do people do this? Why do they lie?
Well, that was going to be my next question. Yeah, it's not, you know, he's obviously a well-accomplished gentleman. He was well-liked at Walmart. He said that he's parting on very good terms with Walmart. I don't know why people would do that. You know, maybe they're insecure. Maybe, you tell me. Do you think it's insecurity? What do you think?
Well, I think it is insecurity about having a resume which will hold up when you're getting jobs, when you're going through your life and your career. And they think the other thing is they think they won't get caught. This is the easiest thing in the world to check. All you do is call the registrar and say, did the person graduate? In fact, an awful lot of search firms do that before a company will hire someone. So this is very normal. I think the question is, though, why do people feel so much pressure today to have a good-looking resume? And I think it's because they're looking for that external validation that a degree gives you and thinking, well, maybe people won't think as much of me if I don't have a degree. You know, obviously he should have finished up the degree, having gone as far as he did. But I think lying about it, a lot of people think they simply won't get caught. Right. And 20 years goes by, no one caught me yet, so I can get away with it, not realizing, and now I had this big lie, and if I go back and correct it, then I will be, you know, have to expose myself. So I think it's sad, and I think what young people need to, I tell them this in the classroom, just assume everything you say and everything you write is going to be either on CNBC tomorrow or on the front page of the New York Times verbatim. And if you take that approach, that may clarify your mind and how you think about your behaviors.
Isn't it also a fact that the job market is so competitive right now, and especially those plum positions, as you work in a corporation and you try and work your way up, you want to stay, you want to do better, and if you don't have the degree, you don't look as good as the candidate right next to you.
Well, that's true, but I think you have to express who you are as a person, and I think way too many people are worried about where they went to school, what degrees they have, trying to build an impressive resume, all the organizations they work for, rather than gaining their own self-awareness. I think that's the bigger issue. The other thing that worries me a lot is a lot of people don't think that statements they made a few years ago are going to come back to haunt them, or maybe a picture on Facebook when they had too much to drink, or, you know, and so I think people need to think about it. We live in a public world. We live in a goldfish bowl, and we just need to get ready for that, our actions count a lot more than what we put on a piece of paper, and so we should be known for who we are, not for our resume.
I got to run, Bill. Thank you so much. Always great to see you. Let's lock in the viewer vote.